approximately 50 pounds worth of book that came out saying, Dan Brown is a complete idiot who doesn't know his history from his elbow. That's not going to be a problem with my book. I don't think I used anything that could even be remotely compared to Dan Brown that did not exist separate from him. For example, you take every single cliche you've ever seen about the Catholic Church in fiction, and I've taken it and I turned it on its head. For example, everything has to have an evil cardinal in it. It's almost universal for every major movie, television show, etc. Every cardinal has to be evil. I'm not sure why, but they do. The entire Catholic Church has to be technophobic, anti-sex, or if you have sex, you can't enjoy it. Just went in and I put down every single cliche, inverted and turned inside out. And that's as close as you can get between me and Dan Brown's work. Although I do have a Catholic priest who has special forces training, and he's got silver hair. Does that count him as an albino?
How about an excerpt from your book?
That shouldn't be too hard. Sean Aloysius Patricius Ryan looked around the apartment set up for Maureen McGrail. Nice digs. He placed her luggage on one of the two beds. Shouldn't you be recovering from an attack of the killer priest? McGrail asked. He shrugged. Johnny boy has enough problems for right now. Given the way things are going, I'd think I'd rather be here out of the line of fire. So, what do you think of the situation? McGrail popped open the suitcase. I originally came here about a priest's murder. Now I'm hip-deep in dead terrorists, murdered academics, killer priests, and I'm just trying to remember the victim I was sent here to investigate. She bent over to look at her belongings and sighed. How's Ina? You started to tell me, but we were interrupted. Oh, she's doing well. I miss her like hell, but what can I do? I follow the work. He shrugged. Ina's actually coming in a few days to visit a client of hers. If I feel lucky, I'll have the Pope marry us and tell him to forget my fee. Maureen's face lit up. About time. You've been together since when? A long time. How in God's name did she ever get hooked up with you? He laughed. It's a long story. So, how about you? What's been happening in Dublin? Damn little. My boss is thinking about putting out a notice on you. Actually, I think he might come up with a new color notice for spite. He'd like to issue a black notice for your murder, but you're still breathing. Good to know I'm still in form. McGrail shook her head. Anyway, I don't think I'm going to mention you're here. Otherwise, he might be a little miffed. He chuckled. I seem to have that effect. At that moment, the door shattered and two men sprayed the room with automatic fire.
What do you have coming up next? Can you share any tidbits with us?
Currently working on 2 sequels to 2 novels. One was a science fiction epic called Codename Winterborn, and working on the sequel called Codename Unsub, if I can get my co-author to work with me on that. And I'm actually working on a sequel to a Pius Man called A Pius Legacy, where I take everything that happened in book 1 and then have the blowback, which in spy terms is, great, congratulations, you've now had a successful operation. Now here's where everybody you just pissed off comes after you. A Pius Legacy should be out by December at the latest. I'm still working on final edits, and hopefully I'll have a cover by then.
What's the best advice anybody ever gave you?
Oh, good God. Go to a vocational school and become a plumber, because that's going to be guaranteed work forever. Unfortunately, that's really good advice I never listened to. As far as being a writer, I think it was a line from Harlan Ellison. Write stuff that doesn't suck.
What's the nicest thing anybody ever said about your book?
Somebody once compared it to a cross between Robert Ludlum and Morris West. The team I had assembled was, quote, the frickin' International Avengers.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel absolutely great. It was nice to get independent verification from someone who isn't a friend or a relative that, yes, I really can write. Who knew?
That's really great. John Konecsni, writing under the name of Declan Finn, thank you so much for being with me today on the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast. I know my listeners will enjoy your work and your interview.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
If you're looking for a community of like-minded individuals who can offer support, tools, and advice about how you can start your own adventures in writing, prepare to have the cauldron of your imagination stirred. I started the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast for one purpose: to do everything I can to get your voice heard about your writing and get more eyes on your books. My goal is to do whatever it takes to help you achieve the success you so richly deserve.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast, located at eatsleepwrite.net. Please send any questions, comments or suggestions to comments@eatsleepwrite.net. Please consider a donation to support the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast. Donations can be sent to our PayPal address at donations@eatsleepwrite.net. Once in a lifetime, the theme music for the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast, courtesy of Stephen Paul. All rights reserved, used by permission. Please join us again for the next edition of the Eat, Sleep, Write podcast.